Hi everybody. So we're back with the Salvation Journal, and the next thing I just wanted to talk about was the cover. You can make it with paper or whatever you want to make it out of. I have kind of fallen in love with doing these fabric covers, and so I have this baby quilt I've told you about before that I got at a thrift store that was on its last legs, and I used it on the last journal, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to cut it up, and then I'm going to put another piece of fabric with it because there are some really weak spots in this quilt. But I'm going to cut out chunks of it and use it for the cover. So I'm going to do that. See, like here, it's just like one little thin piece of fabric. So I'm going to use another piece of my Tim Holtz fabric cut in the same size. And this journal is about 8 inches wide. And so I'm thinking I'll allow like a ½ inch on each side. So it needs to be about 9. I might give it just a little bit extra, like 9 1/4. I wrote this down, even 9 1/2. That'd be 1 inch on each side. Because when you put your ruffles on the edge and your tabs, it's going to stick out that far. So I think I'll do that. And then on the height, it's about 5 1/2, and so it needs to be probably, and it doesn't need as much in that direction. So I would say, if you allow a half, like 6 1/2, yeah, 6 1/2. Okay, so 6 1/2 by 9 1/2 is the size I'm going to cut. So, and let me show you, I'll show you one of my journals from last time. I think you might have seen it, but, so here's the last journal I did, which was the Encourage mini journal. So see, I use this, I'm going to do the same thing. I use that baby quilt and just cut a big chunk of the quilt, and then I lined it with a piece of the Tim Holtz fabric that I have, but you can use whatever fabric you want, and just sewed around it, and then just sewed the signature right straight into it. And that's what I'm going to do this time. So that's what it looks like. On some of them, I put the Tim Holtz fabric on the outside, which was also cute, and I can show you what that looks like. So here's the Encourage, where I put the Tim Holtz fabric on the outside and let the quilt be on the inside. And then I just took a piece of muslin and tore it and let it ravel on the fray on the edges, and then just stamped the word Encourage on it. So either way, it's pretty cute. And see, on the inside, I'll show you. Then the quilt, oh, I put a cloth pocket inside that, but the quilt makes a nice inside for that. So anyway, just so you can be thinking about what you want to do for your covers. I've got 3 of these. I did 9 of the Encourage by mistake. I printed 5 out more than I meant to, but anyway, this time I'm only doing 3, and then I can go back and do more if I need to. But anyway, okay, so today we're going to put the pockets in. And so there's 4 that are on the left corner, 4 on the right corner. So I am just gonna start, okay, why are these upside down? Okay, I'm going to start looking for places to put the pockets where I think they look good. And let's see, so these, I kind of like to put the printed pockets on where I've done the paint, because it just adds a little bit of structure. I don't like to put it printed on printed. So here are the 4 possibilities on the left corner. So, I mean, that one would go there. So I think I will go ahead and let it live there for now. And let's see. I think that probably works for that page. This, the purple might look kind of nice on the paint because see there's pink in there in that drawing of the purple flowers. So I think that will look okay. And looking for a place to put that red. Let me look back again. I don't want to cover that up because I think it's pretty. So, and the other thing you can do is of course turn it, make it go sideways. So maybe that's what I'll do. And well, it's kind of long for that. I'd have to put it up like this. Maybe I'll do that. Let it be upside down. The other thing I can do, of course, is glue it on this side. But again, I don't like to put the printing and printing together. Okay, so I'm gonna lay that down. Let me go back to the second half of the book for the other side. So on this side, we've got this one, this one, this one. So we've got those. So I feel like I've got this going on here, so it doesn't really need anything on this spread. This has got this going on, so I don't really need anything. See, now this is kind of plain, so it's ready to have something. And gosh, any of these would probably go with it. I think this girl might be nice. Put the girl there. And I think I'll put that, oh yeah, because see, there's that printed, it's got that repeat, so those kind of tie together. I'll do that. And let's see, what else, what all do I have back here? Kind of like that because of the oranges. So I think I'll do that. Don't want to cover my bird up. And so this is perfect. I'll do this. I'll put this here. Yeah. So even though this has this here, I still think that looks nice on that paint. So I'm going to do that. Now here's the thing. Oh, I still have another corner to do. Let's see if I have anything here calling out for a pocket that has red. I mean, that would work there. See if there's any other pages that have a need for red. Okay, so that's those pockets that I have provided for you. Now here is the thing. I have got so many journaling cards in this kit and so many pieces of ephemera that you're going to need additional pockets. So that's no problem, I'm sure, but I'm just letting you know that there's going to be a lot of opportunities for these pieces. So begin to look around for different ways to come up with pockets. I have provided a few ideas in the other sets of, let me see if I have any left. What I did, the simplest thing that I did was I created just little triangles. Here's one. No, that's not one. Oh, I thought I had, oh, here's one. Okay. So I just took a 2-inch strip took it out of a hymnal, cut a 2-inch strip, just folded it over and cut it off and glued it, and then inked it. And you can just glue it into your journal here in a T shape, right down the middle and across, and then you can tuck something here and tuck something here. So that's one idea. You can do several of those if you want to. And that's kind of, I did this, what I called the tree, with 3 of those. So you actually have room for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces of ephemera. And then I stitched it down the middle. So if you want to overlap these, you can do that. You could do 4 probably. There's just lots of, you know, pocket ideas. I mean, you could even take some of these larger cards and glue them in and just glue the edges, and that's your pocket, and you tuck something in the back of it. So same with these. I mean, you could use these as tuck spots and just glue them on 2 sides, and tuck something behind them. So there's work to be done on pockets. But anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and glue these pockets in. Okay, and then the other thing we need to do today is we need to find out where to put this. And we're going to glue this 4 flap box fold in. Make sure you know which side is up. So this is right side up. So I'm going to look for a likely spot. I mean, that page doesn't really do a lot for me. I could do that there. I think I will do it there. So I'm going to just glue that in. All you have to do is just put the glue on. Be sure you pull it out from the where you're going to bind it as close to the edge as you can, so that when it opens, it's not hard to get open and shut. So I'm going to pull it as close to this edge as I can. So that allows, see, there's the fold. So you've got about that much room for when you want to open it up once it's bound. I am going to turn the camera off and cut some paper up, and I'll show you real quick another thing you can do for pockets. Okay, so here's another idea you can do. These triangles, you can just do a lot with them. So here's a bigger triangle. I showed you, remember, the small one. You can make whatever size you want. This size is 2 3/4 inches wide. So what I did is I cut a strip out of a piece of paper 2 3/4 inches wide. And then I just took it corner to corner, kind of squared it off and folded it, and just cut it with scissors. Wasn't that concerned with it being perfect. And so I have 4 of those. And so, and this is also, I need to tell Cindy, because Cindy comments a lot on my videos, which I'm so appreciative of. Thank you, Cindy. And she asked me to go over the braided, I called it a braided pocket, because I just did it real quick and she wanted to see more about it, and I'm just now remembering to come back to it. So what you do is you use these triangles, and basically you just alternate, turn them the 2 different ways, and you overlap them, and then so put one on the left and then one on the right, and then one on the left behind it, and you just raise it up a little bit, however far you want to, and then one on the right. And so I called it a braided pocket because it kind of looks like a braid when you get it folded and glued. So I want to spread them out so it hides all the points. So you'll glue it into your journal What I'm going to do though is glue these just real quick, the edges. Okay, so let me find a page that I want to put this on. So I think I'll do it on this page because again, I'm not thrilled with that. So let me think for a minute. I'm gonna lay it out. So it'll go like this, this, and this. And I want it to be down to the bottom so I have more room to spread it out. And so you can spread these, there's room to spread it out. And so of course, the more you spread it out, the bigger the card is that you can put with it. I mean, I guess you could just even take it to the edges of the page if you wanted to. And just I don't know, I think if I push them together, you can bring them up taller. I think I want to do that. I'm going to start with this one, and I'm going to glue the two edges. And then kind of want to, let's see. I need to glue this. You want to be careful that you don't glue the wrong thing. You're always going to glue the outside edges, so I'll glue that. And then once you've kind of got them stuck together a little bit so they don't move around, you can glue the whole thing. And that one I'm going to glue across the bottom. Okay, so then, oh, that's too big. Let's see some of these smaller ones. You could stick this in that pocket, and this in this pocket, and this in this pocket, and this in this pocket. So 4 separate pockets to stick some of the stuff. And you know what I forgot to do is I forgot to ink them. Let me pull this back up because it will be super hard to ink it. Stick a card behind this. Take 2, so glue it down. I do like this Bearly Art glue because it's not quite as quick and unforgiving as the Art Glitter glue. So I'll just cover those marks up by gluing it back where it was. And nobody ever has to know what I did. Okay, and I'm sure you guys have plenty of other tricks up your sleeve as far as pockets. So you can glue those all in. And we'll come back on the next video and bind this thing. I'm going to cut out the cover and I'll be ready to bind it.